In this video, I'm going to quickly break down how I created this horse rider graphic that I uploaded to Instagram and a couple other places last week that I created with Dither Boy. This tutorial was requested in this comment, so if there is any work you see me post that you want me to break down, just leave a comment and I'll probably do it. But without giving you the whole 20-minute version, if you are not familiar with Dither Boy, this is an image dithering software with a bunch of dithering algorithms. You buy it once, you get all the updates for free. There's no subscription. It just came out this month in February, so we're working on updates already. But yeah, if you want to get in on that, I'll leave the link in the description. So I will show the reference on screen now and then we'll get straight into it. First thing you need obviously is an image that you're going to use. If you want to use the same one as me, just go to public.work/musket or just go to public.work, type in musket, and you will get this horse rider graphic where the guy has a musket. I just saved it from here and loaded it up in Dither Boy. So get this image or a similar one, or get something that you want to use. This one's pretty cool as well. I might do something with this one day. But open up Dither Boy, click on import, navigate to wherever you saved the image and it'll load up. The thing about this poster that I dithered the horse rider graphic using a different dithering algorithm to the text at the bottom. So we're gonna dither the horse rider graphic and then dither the text and put it together. I believe the algorithm that I used here was the Burke's algorithm. So I'm gonna scale it up a little bit, and then all you got to do from here is just move your contrast slider around until you isolate sort of the parts that you want. Obviously you can change the scale and stuff, and you don't necessarily have to do the same one as me. This might look cool in like Bayer ordered as well, like something like that. Main thing that's hard with this one is getting it so that it's obvious that it's a guy riding a horse, but not so fine that you can't even tell that it's dithered. So something like scale 8 or 9 works for me. Go ahead and export as many as you want. Like if you want to do a Bayer one and then change your algorithm back to Sierra, find sort of the sweet spot for that one and then export that, whatever, just export all the assets that you want, and then we're going to move into Photoshop. For the next step, I'm going to create a new document in 2160 by 2700. First thing I'm going to do is just double click the background layer to convert it to a normal layer, rename it horse, and then right click and convert to smart object, and then I'm just going to invert that. Then if you double click into the horse smart object and just drag in all of the horse assets that you created in Dither Boy. I'm just going to quickly do the Bayer ordered one that I mentioned, like that. So yeah, drag them all in, scale them up so they cover the whole canvas, and then just use Control S to save the smart object and exit that. And then you can just scale your smart object kind of where you want it. And then I'm going to add a black background in manually. So all I've done that for is just so that now if I want to go and keep sort of dithering the horse again and again and again with like different effects and stuff, you can just drag all of your outputs into that smart object and it'll invert them and put it where you want it, kind of thing. With selection tool, just gonna select the main part of the horse and add a layer mask to just get rid of all that extra bits of dithering. So next I'm going to add text, and the font I'm using here is called Blackside. You can get the personal use version from Dafont, and then the paid version, there's a link to the paid version in the download when you get that. And I had no idea what to write for this one, which is why I just wrote, look at this. What did I write in the original? Let me check what I put. I put, look at this sick horse rider graphic, because I didn't know what else to put, but I wanted to post the horse somewhere. So I'm just going to position those kind of how I want them. I also had the logo in there as well, so I'll put the logo in a minute. Okay, so now, like I said earlier, I dithered the horse with a different algorithm to what I dithered the text with in my version. So to separate the two, I'm just going to hide the horse, save this somewhere as a JPEG, then reopen Dither Boy and just go to import and open up what we just saved. Sometimes this happens with the viewport and you can just press reset zoom to return to the correct zoom level and then zoom in. And just so you know, for those who've asked for it, we have got updates that make this whole bit easier sort of in the works, but I'll talk about that in a more appropriate place. So I'm going to pick a dithering algorithm now that is different from this Bayer ordered dither that I just had visible in my Photoshop document. So I'm going to choose Atkinson, and all I did literally was just lower the contrast a little bit so you can see some of the dithering coming through into the lettering. And if you want it to be a little bit unreadable and retro and stuff, you can obviously up the scale, but this might be a little bit flat for your liking. Obviously you can continue to lower the contrast to sort of reduce the density of the letters here, but if this is a little bit boring and flat, you can see how like the dither is the same all the way through this text. So what you can do is go back into Photoshop, click on your text layer, press Control and click on your logo if you've added a logo, and then put those in a layer group and go to add a layer style and pick something like inner shadow, inner glow, outer glow, drop shadow, or bevel and emboss. So I'm going to go inner shadow first for mine. Let me just zoom in on the text as well so that you can see what I'm doing. So inner shadow, mine's set up weird from something I was working on previously, obviously, but if you just add a little subtle inner shadow that just darkens the white parts of the very edge, like of the inside of the text, or something like bevel and emboss. So if we go inner bevel, turn up these shadows and change the blend mode to normal, and then up the size a little bit so you've got some like indentation going on. You can change the depth and stuff as well. Then just press OK for that. So let me save the flat version of this just so I've got that to compare and show you in a minute. So if we then save this version that we've added the layer styles to and import this into Dither Boy, zoom in again so we can see what's going on for the text, go back onto the Atkinson dither and then start messing with the contrast. It's only very subtle, but you can see that where we've applied the bevel and the inner shadow, you can see the dithering is sort of more present in those areas. So if you wanted something less flat essentially and a little bit more interesting or a little bit more legible, then all you got to remember with dithering is that areas of your image with lots of highlights, when I say highlights I mean white values or close to white values, will have much more dense dots than dark areas of your image. So if you want something to be legible, or if you want nice big chunks in a certain area on a certain image, in certain text or in certain layers or whatever, if you want nice big chunks rather than fine patterns or flat patterns, then adding like a gradient into the white values or keeping the sections of your image nice and bright where you want them to be densely dithered will help you get what you want out of it. Obviously this is still, I've got version 1.7 here. The version that's out right now is 1.69, but if you're watching this in the future, there's probably some stuff we're going to add that makes that easier for you. But for now, if you're watching this, if you're like early, if you supported this early, thank you by the way. But if you're watching this in like February, March, then yeah, just try and experiment with things like gradients, and bear in mind areas with lots of highlights will be densely dithered. Areas with highlights fading out through a gradient, or areas with lots of like low luminosity pixels will be more densely dithered basically. But yeah, so I'm gonna up the scale a little bit because I don't care if this is readable or not, because it doesn't say anything important and I just want it to look cool. So I'm gonna go scale 14 and I'm going to lower the highlights a little bit. In fact, no, I'm not. I'm going to up the highlights just so it looks even worse. Look at the logo. The logo looks awful. Anyway, I'll export an Atkinson dither and I'll do a low contrast Bayer ordered dither as well. And maybe I'll up the scale a bit too so that it's nice and checkered. So now I've exported those, I can just navigate to where I saved them and pull both of those in, change the blend mode to screen, and then re-enable the horse. So this is the Bayer ordered text. So this text matches this dithering algorithm. Might not match the scale because I can't remember what scale I exported at, but this text is the Atkinson text. So I'm gonna go with this one for my final one. It's also much less readable, but I don't really care about that. I'm just gonna press shift and click on both my text exports and right click and convert them to a smart object. Again, that's just so I can double click and toggle them and stuff, and it'll sync the changes that we're about to make to both text layers. And again, I'm going to shift click on the text, click on the horse, convert those to a smart object as well. Then I'm going to go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and it doesn't really matter what you add to start with. We just need this little smart filter to pop up. You can click on these two dials or whatever these are supposed to be to change the blending options for the Gaussian blur. And we're just going to change that to screen, just so the dither's got a nice little glow on it now. Once you're happy with the glow, you can just come to your adjustments tab. If you don't have that, just go to window and make sure adjustments is ticked. It's just right here at the top. And the very last one in the list is a gradient map. So you can add that. Go to your properties tab. Again, if you don't have properties, just go to window and it's down here at the bottom, properties. Double click on the gradient there and you can add a color in the middle. So I believe I added like an orange to mine. Maybe this time I'll go blue, like this nice light blue. And you can just like adjust the position of this color head until you're happy with like what it's doing to your image. My cat's joined me if you've not noticed. Yeah, so that's how I did the color and the glow. And then the next thing is just textures. You can obviously texture this however you want. It doesn't have to be, but I use textures from Studio AAA. You can get some for free. If you want to go to studioAAA.com/free, you can get some printer ones, you can get some paper ones, you can get some like glitchy VHS ones as well. But the ones I used are from ages and ages and ages ago. I went and like old board games, old photo albums and stuff from car boots and scanned in tons of like really old, dirty, smelly paper for the vintage paper pack. I've got in one of those stupid IKEA cubes behind me, I've got some more horrible paper I need to scan in, but I don't quite have enough yet to, I've got like 5 or 6. I'm gonna wait till I've got a little bit more. But yeah, if you were wondering what actual texture I used, it was one of these. I think it's this one that I used. Yeah, if I get some more horrible paper to scan in that looks nice and old and dirty and stuff, I'll maybe do a free update for that as well. But yeah, that's how I went about creating this graphic, poster, whatever you want to call it. Just because she's here, if you saw the actual image on the site for Dither Boy in this graphic that I'll show you, this is the cat that we based that on, and she does not like being picked up. Anyway, that's about it. Obviously, the way we put this together, you can go back into your horse smart object, change the dither that you got of the horse, save that, go into the text, change the text dither that you got, save that, come back out, save that, come back out, and it will sync up everything that you did. And you can put like a different texture or a different color for your other options that you exported. Or if you want to go back into Dither Boy now and do more dithering, then you just know where to put those now. So if you dither the horse again, go put it in the horse smart object. If you dither the text again, put it in the text smart object. Everything I've mentioned in this video, including the font, Dither Boy, the textures, the image library I use, public.work. I will link all those in the description. If you've already got Dither Boy, then thank you very much for supporting. If you're still not sure, then that's fine. We've got updates coming. Like I said at the start of the video, it's just one purchase. Everything that we do with Dither Boy in the future will be yours, included in that purchase. There is no subscription, no forced updates or any other stuff like that either. If there's another tutorial that you want to see for Dither Boy, let me know. Other than that, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.